Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, link in the description. I have linked to the article. Lance Pugmire wrote an article with the Los Angeles Times. Shout out to them. And it said that Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys is said to be interested in the Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. challenging Canelo Alvarez Cinco de Mayo May 6th fight. And I want to give my thoughts on that. I actually prefer it there. I'm a West Coast dude, but I think it makes more sense in Texas. Both guys have done good. You look at Canelo's last fight with Liam Smith. I don't know the actual number verbatim, but it did 50 to 51,000 seats for Liam Smith. And that was really an opponent that most of us hadn't even heard of here in the States. It wasn't like his name was ringing bells. Yes, he was a WBO champion through a vacancy. He fought Thompson or somebody to become a WBO champion, but his name wasn't ringing bells. This is a huge fight, and I told you guys, I don't even remember the last time we had a Cinco de Mayo fight where we had two Latinos on the Mexican dates, so to speak. You know what I mean? Obviously the Cinco de Mayo weekend and Mexican Independence Day weekend in September, because Floyd Mayweather has had a long-standing reign, and he's been taking those dates. And of course, when he fought Oscar, when he fought Canelo, that was him versus a Latino fighter, a Mexican fighter. But some of the other dates had Latinos versus Floyd, like Maidana, you know what I mean, Argentine fighter. But this is the first time in a while where I see two Latinos on a Mexican Independence Day, specifically two Mexican fighters, right? And I remember Oscar De La Hoya fought Ricardo Mayorga of Nicaragua. He fought him on Cinco de Mayo weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So that was pretty big. That was in the height of De La Hoya's career. But this would be huge in Texas. Pause. Huge. They say everything's bigger in Texas. I think it makes more sense in Texas than Vegas. However, money talks. And De La Hoya, it sounds like they're leaning towards T-Mobile. I don't know if they already had a deal or they're already kind of midway through the negotiating process. But it sounds like T-Mobile may have offered Golden Boy a good offer to stage the fight there. Personally, I would like it in Texas. If it's not done, if it's not like 100% done, I think you'll make more money in Texas. Because again, if Liam Smith fight had 51,000 people with Canelo, I mean, we know who's selling the tickets. I didn't see any Liam Smith people or Canelo being booed at the weigh-in, like they were booing Liam Smith and stuff. So we know they were there to see, right? And some people are like, oh, but they gave away free tickets. Trust me, they didn't give away 51,000 free tickets. And even if they did, you still have to have 51,000 people who are even remotely interested in going. You know what I mean? Like, do you think Pauly Shore, if he had a comedy show in Texas, you know what I mean? Hey, buddy. You think 51,000 people are going to go at this point? Probably not. You know what I mean? So Canelo clearly has star power. Chavez Jr. too. He fought Brian Vera in Texas, and it did good numbers. And I think for that particular year on HBO, the total viewership was the highest viewed HBO broadcast in boxing that particular year. And he has his dad's name, and his dad has done obviously legendary things, and he sold out the Alamo Dome and fought Pernell Whitaker at the Alamo Dome. And Chavez Sr. recently told Golpe on ESPN that he wants his son and Canelo to be able to break his record that he set in Texas. So I actually like this fight in Texas. The fight, check out my 7 reasons video. Not a prediction, but I think the fight's a lot tougher than people are alluding to. Obviously, the wild card is Chavez Jr. has to make weight, and he has to be okay. If he's a skeleton and when he rehydrates, he's weakened and all that, then of course there's going to be a blowout. Canelo is definitely more fundamentally and technically sound as a boxer, and he showed discipline pretty much throughout his career, where Chavez Jr. has had lapses. But based on one of the reasons I told you guys, pride. This is bragging rights for all of Mexico. One person has to lose this fight and go back to Mexico when they vacation or spend time with family or relatives they have there as the loser. You know what I mean? And I don't think either guy wants to be that. So I think Chavez Jr. will take this fight seriously. Obviously, his body has to cooperate. But if that in fact does happen, where he can at least be in the same form as when he fought Brian Vera, Sergio Martinez, and stuff like that. I think this could be a real good fight. I really like it in Texas. I think it makes sense. High Hispanic population in Texas. I think they will support the fight, and it'll be big. And it's an HBO pay-per-view, so you want to maximize your dollar. Vegas is cool, but Vegas is more of a touristy place where there's people from all over the world, right? And I mean, I'm not saying Texas is not like that, but you guys get what I'm saying. Texas is huge. It's big. Pause. I gotta say pause when I'm talking about Texas now. That's funny. But nothing's confirmed. De La Hoya is supposed to announce the site within some weeks, so obviously tickets can go on sale. There's still a bit of time, and the fight's kind of self-promoted because this is a fight that we wanted to see since the two emerged on the scenes in the United States. I remember me and my brother were talking about it actually, and we were like, man, Canelo, like we didn't really have faith in Canelo. We thought it was just like somebody that they were just building up, and then over the years we got to see, oh, now my brother and me are real big fans of Canelo. Like we like it the way he scraps. Same thing with Chavez. We're like, oh, another. It's hard, you know what I mean? That's just me in general. I'm not like a pessimistic person, but you got to show me something before I give you credit. Just because you have somebody's name, that don't really mean shit to me. Because I remember my favorite. This is, some people get mad at this, but I love Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. But the #1 Mexican fighter of all time for me was Salvador Sanchez. That's who I like as #1. You can put Chavez #2, but for me, I like Salvador Sanchez, and I think his light was extinguished. I sound like Demolition Man. He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. You Phil Florin, ball brain, eagle butt. But he died prematurely, so we didn't get to see how great he would become. But he was a monster. He was a beast. But anyway, Salvador Sanchez, his nephew or something, looked like him, was wearing his trunks, and came onto the boxing scene. And I'm like, I was hoping he would do well. And man, he had that fro, that little fro thing, kind of like Salvador. And he was trash, man. Basuda, he was horrible. And I was like, wow, like you. I'm not gonna say you disgraced, but it wasn't a good look. So I don't. Just because someone has a namesake, that doesn't mean they're gonna be as good as their daddy or their uncle or whoever. Like, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are related to other people, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean nothing. So for me, the way I am, you got to show me something in that ring. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is Salvador Sanchez Jr. or whatever his name is, Bobby Sanchez, and then he's getting his ass beat. I don't even know if he fights anymore because he was oh my gosh, he was bad. Like, I seen him, I was like, and he looked the part though. He looked like little Salvador Sanchez. I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And then it's like ding ding, and he was just like bah bah bah. I'm like, oh wow, like this is him, really? But he looked the part. He had the chunks, he had the hair and stuff. He looked focused in his eyes. I really had faith. He had me fooled. But I like Chavez Jr. versus Canelo in Texas. I think the demographic over there would be enough to probably set records, or at least in recent memory. And again, you want to enhance the pay-per-view and make it do what it do. Let me know what you guys think. Where do you want to see this fight? Do you think it makes more sense in Las Vegas, or do you agree with Jerry Jones? And right now, sorry, Dallas Cowboy fans, but y'all got nothing else to do in that stadium because y'all got to sit home. I know the Cowboy man. Oh my gosh. So there's a meme about the Cowboys, and it's a picture of Aaron Rodgers. He's peeping through like a hole in the door, kind of like The Shining. And he was like, I'm just checking. Are y'all still them boys? Oh my, I might try to put in this video. That was funny. I had people trying to get mad at me. We still them boys. We are them boys. Still Cowboy Nation. Yeah, Cowboy fans be getting mad when Romo's not doing good or gets hurt. We still them boys. I told you we still them boys. Like, y'all Cowboy fans be going crazy. But I mean, I can't talk too much because my Niners are trash. But it's all about loyalty. You got to ride for your team through the good, the bad, the ugly. When they're winning, when they're like 2-14, all that. Let me know what you guys think. Where do you want to see this fight? Who are you picking? Drop some fight predictions. Subscribe to the channel. We working. Boxingego, boxingego.com. Make sure you share the video, like the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.